The Business Bully podcast is being brought to you by Audible.com. Go and get your free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial at audibletrial.com/bully. Over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. Go there now, support the show, and without any further ado, let's make it happen. It's bully time, baby.
He's been an award-winning media personality and producer. As a speaker, he's empowered over 1 million people from the stage. Now, one of the leading brand experts and business coaches in the U.S. is bringing his unique brand of straight talk to the world of on-demand audio. It's the Business Bully Podcast. Now, here's the Business Bully himself, David Anderson.
All right, people, welcome to the Business Bully Podcast. I am, of course, David Anderson. Hope all is well with you. If you have not had the opportunity, I need you to stop what you're doing right now and head over to businessbullyshow.com. That's right. You can go to businessbullyshow.com. I got a site, son. Simply because I wanted to be able to house everything there. Make sure that you could check out the sponsors, not just hear about them there. Also, I have a blog that I'm going to be updating daily, just with my thoughts and things that I go through throughout the day. If you follow me on Facebook, you definitely already know what that's like. So now you'll have an opportunity to check that out firsthand. Now, one thing that I did want to do, because I feel like it's extremely important for me to do every single time I have a show, is to answer some letters, figure out what's going on with you guys, see how I can come in and help and, do the best I can to kind of give you some guidance. So let's see what we got here. Hey, Dave, I read your book about pitching and upselling. That's right. Pitch, close, upsell, repeat. It's available in fine bookstores everywhere if you haven't gotten it. Says it is very clear and easy to understand. What would you consider the best type of upsell for the automotive industry? I own an automotive parts and repair shop. That's a good question, Chuck. I appreciate it. Chuck is the one who wrote that question. If you have any questions, you can always email bullyquestions@gmail.com. I will respond. Or you can go to businessbullyshow.com and click the contact page. It gets fed right into my email, so I'm always happy to answer questions on the air or off if that's what you like. Anyway, anyhow, getting back to Chuck's question. Chuck, you've got an automotive parts and repair shop. There are a couple of things that you can do. You can offer classes, like if you go to like maybe the Lowe's or the Home Depot, a lot of times they have little classes in order to help people who aren't necessarily familiar with cars. Also, you want to have things that make sense so that you can kind of be a one-stop shop when it comes to parts and repairs. And here's what I mean. Some places have like loan-to-tool programs, and those are cool. I'm also a big believer in having everything somebody could possibly need for their car. A lot of automotive repair supply stores don't carry things like car chargers, lighters, or they don't carry air fresheners. And I'm like, what's wrong with you? You definitely want to do that. Or those little clips, those little air freshener clips that go right on the vent. Those are pretty cool as well. One thing that I don't see in a lot of those, auto parts supply stores are those booties. Like, say if you're one of those people who just happen to step in mud, they don't want to get the car all dirty. It's in between detailing. You should have those little disposable booties that they can put on their feet. I'm a big believer in frequent flyer miles or frequent return, any type of price club type of situation. That's cool. Also, one thing that you can always do is piggyback. If you have a Firestone in the area or a Pep Boys, Jiffy Lube, something like that, those places that don't do parts, those are the places that you want to see if you can partner with and take up space in there, because that's going to help you build your audience. So I would say the number one upsell is, classes, having accessories that make sense that aren't necessarily parts. Things that kind of accentuate that. People like those types of things and like to keep those on hand. Another thing that would be really cool is you should have and this one is for free, make like a supply station for Uber drivers. And with that you would have things like, candy, car chargers. You would have, bags, like small tissue packs, because sometimes people do that kind of stuff. And here's one, barf bags. If you put together like a little Uber driver car kit or Lyft driver car kit, people will go apeshit crazy for it, man. So Chuck, I hope one of those suggestions absolutely helped, but always find a way to pitch, close, upsell, repeat. And the main way to make sure somebody repeats is to be able to get them back in the store and give them a reason to come back into the store. And make sure, above all else, I know you might have a bit of a hands-on type of mentality, because a lot of, people who deal in supply stuff do, but you want to make sure that you're able to get those emails, because there's a lot of money in that list. That's where the money is. So I'm looking forward to seeing how you make out with that, Chuck. If you have any other questions, feel free to email me. And if you have a question, email me yourself. It's bullyquestions@gmail.com, bullyquestions@gmail.com. And I'll be happy to go ahead and answer those questions for you. Man, action-packed show today. I've got two really awesome guests. One is a master of the written word. The other one is the master of visuals. And so when you put, pictures and words together, they say a picture's worth 1,000 words, but what if you got $1 million pictures and $1 million words? So, I'm really excited, to let you know that we're going to have, Derek Blanks, who is arguably one of the biggest, photographers on the planet right now. And he does music videos, and he shot everybody you've ever hoped of seeing or meeting. And some of those people were naked. So that's awesome. We'll get into that. And also April Beverly, who is the word boss. She makes her fortune by writing copy that makes people buy things. So if you have a hard time writing sales copy, she's the go-to person. She's also a person I use a lot for my own copywriting needs. So both of these people on the same show, I'm super excited. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is take a quick break. And I'm going to come back, and we're going to get this thing really underway. So stay tuned.
He's one of the leading business coaches and branding experts in the US, generating millions of dollars for brands like Nutrisystem, The Ricky Smiley Morning Show, iHeartMedia, and Les Brown. He's impacted over 1 million people from the stage. Now, best-selling author David Anderson releases his latest book, Pitch, Close, Upsell, Repeat, a practical guide to sales dominance. Learn how to conquer fear of selling, how to get people to buy from you, and more. This book will motivate and inspire you to unleash the sales beast inside of you. Pitch, Close, Upsell, Repeat by David Anderson is available at Barnes & Noble, Amazon.com, or wherever fine books are sold.
All right, so if you know anything about me, I'm really big on audiobooks. I think that they are extremely important. I think that they free up a lot of time, because sometimes your brain moves a lot faster than your eyeballs will let you process the words. The best thing about having audiobooks at your disposal is that you can listen to them and absorb the information. You can have a conversation with somebody who read the physical book, and you have exactly what they have. There's no difference in quality. That's why I love this special right now. audibletrial.com/bully. You can get all kinds of great books. One of my favorite books is by T.D. Jakes. It's called Let It Go, because a lot of people are hung up on dumb stuff that has nothing to do with them, that's hindering their growth. Another really good book right now is called The Presentation Secrets of Steve Jobs. It's by Carmine Gallo. It is phenomenal. It is one of the reasons you're actually listening to this podcast right now, because you have to know what it is that you're doing and how to present it in such a way that inspires and fires people up. And hopefully I've done some of that, because, hell, you're here. Also, a great book by my friend Brendan Burchard is called The Change. You can check that out. There's so many titles. There's 180,000 titles and growing every single day. So you can go right now, give it a try. It is free to try. You get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial by going to audibletrial.com/bully. And of course, you're also supporting the show. Something free, and you get to support the show. You can't get better than that. So make sure you check that out. Again, audibletrial.com/bully. You're going to love it. Get into the world of audiobooks. You will find that you feel so much better about yourself because you're accomplishing more. You're finding ways to get at peak performance. You're going to love it, man. audibletrial.com/bully.
It's time for another Business Bully interview.
Ladies and gentlemen, my guest at this time absolutely needs no introduction, but I'm going to give him one anyway. This man is a legend behind the camera. He has photographed everybody you ever dreamed of, hate, talked about, or watched on TV. Everybody from T.I. to Trey Songz to Jennifer Hudson, Kelly Rowland. I really like the picture with Kelly Rowland with the really, really plunging neckline, but I'm a married man, so I'm going to act like I didn't see it. Anyway and anyhow, this man is the pioneer of the alter ego photo shoots, which I still haven't gotten yet because I just can't afford it, but hopefully they'll let me borrow like $10. And not only that, the man is exactly 14 days older than me, and that 2-week head start has been phenomenal because this man can buy and sell my black ass. Ladies and gentlemen, on the Business Bully podcast right now, the incomparable Derek Blanks.
Thank you, brother.
Hey, man, how are you?
I'm great, man. I'm great. God is good. I can't complain doing what I love, so I can't complain at all.
No, man, it's phenomenal to watch you work, man. And what I really love is not so much, that you're doing it on your own, as much as I love the fact that you don't get stagnant. You said, you know what? I got this photography thing on lock. Let me make some videos. Now everybody wanted D Blank's video. Like for you, when was that moment where you said, I can't work for anybody. I got to do what I love?
No, that would have to be when I was working corporate America. I had just left one job, went to another as an art director, working in a small town called Cedartown, Georgia. Had been commuting about an hour from Atlanta every day. And I got pulled over by a cop because beforehand I had got in an accident previously, like a week previous, and I was in a rental car. So the cop pulled me over and asked me to get in the back of the car. It just really inconvenienced me. And then when he asked what I was doing there, I was like, well, I work down the street. And of course he didn't believe me. So, at that point, I was kind of frustrated from the hour commute. And then just being racially profiled on top of that, I was like, I'm going to have to take a leap and step out of faith because, I felt there was a time and I felt like that was a sign that, I was ready to move on and I was prepared. And I hadn't looked back since.
Wow, that's awesome, man. Does it ever get to a point where you feel like, this is too much? I got my money. I want to ride off into the sunset?
Never, man. There are always challenges in the industry, period. From just proving yourself, from being in the South compared to LA and New York photographers or directors, and also, just being an entrepreneur and the balancing, keeping your money, storing it, or investing while times are slow versus times are busy. So it never really has been a situation where, I'm got to move on because I take every job as a blessing. And I kind of seize the moment, especially now, because, it could be somebody hotter than me tomorrow. So I always try to stay humble and hustle 24/7.
I ain't mad at that. I ain't even close to being mad at that, man. Do you think that there's something about our generation that the next generation just doesn't seem to have? And on the other side of that, what is it about the next generation that you admire that you wish people of our generation actually had?
You know what? It is something that we have that the next generation really does. And I don't even know if it's the next generation or the generation after that, the millenniums or what. But, I've been blessed to work with several assistants and interns, and they seem to they don't want to work hard for anything. So it's kind of hard and getting them to realize the importance of working hard for your dollar and building the brand and starting from the bottom and working your way to the top. They won't fall on it instantly, and the work ethic is not there. So for sure, that's the one thing that I would stress that should be improved upon if you're in one of those generations and you want to, be successful. It doesn't happen without hard work, determination, and actually going after, what you're trying to do. As far as something that's taking from the younger generation, it would be being a sponge as far as modern technology goes and just observing modern technology and not being afraid to adapt to it in that sense. They're not afraid of, exploring apps and programs or just trying things when it comes to that. And that's one thing I could probably push myself forward, push myself with as far as growing. Like I mentioned before, I have a wide range of assistants and interns. And that's one thing I feel that keeps me young is being around young, creative people and also taking from them. But if we learn to and keep that work ethic, we both could possibly learn something from, our generation to their generation and likewise.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. When you look back at your life at this point, right, what do you feel like your greatest accomplishment is? And please don't say your kids. We all know your kids. I got two, and I love them. But, I mean, outside of that, professionally speaking, what is the greatest thing Derek Blanksfield has done?
I think that one of my greatest accomplishments would have to be the fact that, I've been able to sustain in this industry. I moved straight from college here and build a brand as far as my photography goes. And I would say my production company as a whole and my photography is one of my greatest, or are of my greatest accomplishments.
What is, like, my oldest daughter's 16, right? And she's obsessed with photography. So basically that means I'm broke. So, like, all these sponsors on the beginning of this podcast, I wish I could get sponsored by, like, a camera company, because the lenses, like, why is this such an expensive habit? I could get her I could literally get her like 2 pounds of crack. You know what I'm saying? For one lens. Not that I want my child to smoke crack, but I'm just saying, good God. It's just as addictive and it's just as damaging to your wallet. I'm just saying. So what are two things that you feel like every young photographer should have without question?
Besides the camera, of course, that every young photographer should have is, I would say, like you mentioned, a good lens for sure. Mm-hmm. And that doesn't mean it has to be, a complete brand name as far as Zeiss or Canon or whatever. It could be Tamron, but you want a quality lens with a good range or a good zoom for maximum use from like a 50 or below 50 millimeter, like 90, so you can get a nice portrait. Or you can go wider, something with a nice zoom that can get you a wide shot a wide shot and a portrait shot. And then the most important thing that a photographer needs just creativity. And that may mean by just keeping your creative juices flowing, by looking at what's out there. Not to say you need to copy it, but it's good to know what's out there and to be innovative, kind of on your feet, and always be open to criticism. So those are the most important things, because really there are no rules in the world of photography. Like, photographers could be shooting with their iPhone and have published pieces in Time magazine, or on the cover of Rolling Stone. You just never know. There's really no rules when it comes to art.
Did you just, like, were you high, or did you have, like, a dream or something? What made you say to yourself, you know what, I want to take a picture of somebody and then have that same somebody do something else in the picture, but it looks like the one somebody is choking the other somebody. Like, I saw the Nicole Bitchie one, and I was like, yo, that is the craziest shit I think I've ever seen done with a lens. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot you can do with Photoshop, but I mean, damn, for real?
Most people don't know my background is illustration. So I've been drawing and painting all my life. And, I didn't realize that I had already known about the alter ego as far as the technical sense. Studying in school, we used to call it a double exposure. Mm-hmm. And it was done in a dark room by exposing the negative on some photographic paper more than once. So when I saw it on Top Model with Tyra Banks, I had to realize that I had already done it in college. And I thought, well, maybe I can use my illustration and my artistic background and combine the two and add that wow factor as far as like how did he do this if I actually apply shadows and there's actual interaction between the two subjects. It would just take it to a whole nother level. So my publicist at the time was like, okay, what are we going to do as far as the art show that's going to separate you from anybody else? I was like, it just came to me. I was like, maybe I can do the alter ego thing. So, you know, I kind of asked some of my clients that I had worked with, like the Don Hurts and Men Coffee Table book I did years back. Mm-hmm. Started with Lisa Ray and asked her about doing an alter ego, and then I had recently done Eva Pickford right after her winning some top models, and I asked her to do it too. And it kind of just snowballed, and, you know, it grew and grew and grew, and I flew out to L.A. and shot several celebrities, got back to Atlanta. The housewives were brand new at the time, so I asked Nene about doing it, and one thing just led to another.
Wow. That's absolutely crazy. You know, you like the Michael Jackson of photography. Like, you didn't invent the moonwalk. You just made that moonwalk like ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like I don't think you understand how ill it is. Like, I have not been excited about photography probably since since my dad died, and that was like in 2005. And then, you know, when I saw what you did, I was like, wow, that's crazy. I literally pulled out my dad's old camera. It was like, you know, it's 35 millimeter Canon. You know what I'm saying? Old school K. Yeah, I mean, and I was just like, yo, you know, and now that my kid, she's got like 6 or 7 different cameras, you know, so you're inspiring people, man. And I mean, although that's not my lane, man, I'm a businessman. That's what I do. But, you know, it's a phenomenal hobby that you have made a career. Not only that, you're breaking people off. Like, you got a staff, son. Like, you like the Puffy of photographers, dog.
Like, I accept that, man. That's an honor. I appreciate that.
Hey, man, I appreciate you, brother. Like, what's one thing people don't know about you that they'd be shocked to learn?
Most people don't know that my background is actually illustration, drawing, and painting. And that's kind of where this all came from. So I've been painting and drawing all my life longer than I've been shooting.
Man. That's crazy. So let's talk about the business. Like, when you look at this, let's put the camera down and let's just you and I talk business real quick. You know, when you look at where you are, you know, versus where you've been, you know, how has your growth been? Are you happy with it? You know, from a financial and just, you know, developmental standpoint, you know, when it comes to the photography and then with the production company, you know, how do you feel like your business growth has been? And what have been some of those keys to success?
You know what? I'm extremely happy right now as far as the growth of my company. I feel like, fortunately, I've been blessed to make mistakes and not have my business go under starting off and learn from those mistakes. And, you know, like when I first started, you know, money coming in good. I'm like, okay, this is all my money. I don't have to have a reason to spend it, so I was just going through it or whatever, and like not realizing that, you know, this is my money, my company's money, and I pay myself. So I've been blessed to meet people like my accountant and financial planners that have told me the importance of investing in life insurance and 401k and, you know, other avenues where your money can grow and you can save. And it's helped me, but it's honestly, it's not like I went to business school. It's been by actually experiencing the goods and the bads of bad management and bad business, and, you know, also applying the golden rule as far as treating other people like I would have them treating them like I would want to be treated as far as the business goes, doing good business and making sure I pay my people accordingly, and that, you know, I have a good referral rate, and I treat all my clients the same, from, you know, celebrities to, although from celebrities to, you know, your everyday person, although people on the outside looking in may not see that, but most of my clientele are everyday people. So, right, most people don't even realize that. So,
no, I'm just shocked. Not that there's everyday people, and not that I think you're above doing everyday people, not at all. Mm-hmm. But I'm still trying to figure out how everyday people can afford you. But wait, you're in Atlanta, and I know people right now working at Burger King then got got Louboutins on their feet, 15 course purses, and a Birkin bag in the back seat. So yeah, I can see it. I see what you're doing, bro. It's not like you got coupons on Groupon. That's all I'm saying. You don't come cheap, partner.
Right, I don't come cheap, but it's like everything. If you get the right thing, it'll last you. Like, my point as a photographer is to really create timeless pictures that can kind of stand the test of time. So if you don't age, basically you can get your use out of it from 2 to 3 years if you're using it, or they make great memory. They also make great, memory pieces, or they pass the test of the time. What was the other thing you asked? You asked about the business side. Oh yeah, my production.
Yeah.
As far as the production goes, I had been producing videos here in LA and New York, and as a director, the directors generally make only 10% of the budget. So if the budget is $10K, I only make $1,000 from there. As a photographer standpoint, I make, depending on the usage, and my day rate alone for photography is more it's twice or more than the rate as a director at the bottom of the totem pole. So, needless to say, I make more as a photographer than a director. But I realized during the production that that's where all the money was going. Because if the budget is over or under, and all those funds go back to the production company. So I realized, hey, I need my own production company as well, because at the end of the day, the production that I desire, I'm going to be hands-on with the editing, with the color correcting, with digital retouching, and I'm getting the least amount of money back. So I realize that it's important to have my own production company, just for the simple fact that those monies come back to the production at the end versus it going to a freelance producer or production company. And it also extends the brand and brings awareness to, to different people in different entertainment in the industry, period. So it's more beneficial for me and other people to kind of own your own production and produce your own thing, your own projects, and then hire freelancers to help you execute it.
Hell yeah, bro. Let me tell you something. When I was in radio, I was making good money. I'm not going to sit up here and lie. When we put Ricky Smiley in the syndication, I was making very good money. It was nice to fly private. It was nice to have a driver. But then I turned around and realized there's a whole lot of people making a whole lot more money than I am, and I'm doing all the work.
Exactly.
Like, nah. Now, you know what I mean? It's a different type of situation. People are like, well, you're not on the radio anymore. Yeah, thank God. I can say whatever the fuck I want. See how I just did that? Right there? Mm-hmm. Can't do that on the radio. Not to mention the sponsors love me, because at the end of the day, it's about butts and seats. My book's #1. Life is good, bro. So I salute anybody who plays for the team he owns.
Amen.
Yo, man, I usually do this show trying to give people an education, but not only have you given the people an education, you've educated me. D Blanks, thank you so much for being on the Business Bully podcast. I definitely appreciate it. Now, do me a favor, tell everybody how they can get up with you, what you got going on, what you want them to check out. Like, the floor is yours, sir. This is your show right now.
So you can get at me on Twitter at D Blanks, Instagram, Mr. D Blanks. And what I got coming up is I've been doing more video directing, as you mentioned before. Most recent, I shot Missy Elliott's last single art for Where They From, WTF. And I just recently shot T.I.'s first single to his new project, and it's called Money Talk, so be on the lookout for that. And I'm really just trying to, be a one-stop shop for graphic needs to the video needs, and I'm also trying to cross all markets, from gospel to rap to R&B to pop, whatever you need. I'm trying to be your visual man for that. So stay tuned, check me out. You should probably see me on, more than likely, a reality show near you, or hopefully you'll be seeing my work in a magazine, CD cover, or anything like that. And yesterday I just shot K. Michelle's new album packaging. So when that comes out, make sure you pick that up and check it out too.
Yeah. Yo, I always tell Nakia, who's one of my dearest friends, that I never see her and K. Michelle in the same place. And she's like, shut up, Dave. I don't look like K. Michelle. Yes, you do. You look just like that broad. The only reason I know you're not K. Michelle is because your butt is smaller, son. Like, it's the same person, D. I've never seen them in the same room. Last thing I want to tell you, man, I'm going to, because when I come to you, I already got the idea laid out, right? Because I am, I used to be like 600 pounds, so I've dropped like over 200 pounds, and I'm about to get some surgery. But before I get the surgery, I want to shoot the first half of my alter ego photo shoot, and then I'm gonna shoot the second half once I'm in my goal shape. Fam, killing the game. Never been done. You're welcome.
Yeah, let me know, man. I'll be there to take the pictures. So just let me know when you're ready to shoot. We document it.
You already
know. Congratulations, man.
Hey, man, it's a tough road to hoe, but at the end of the day, when you got kids and you know this, you gotta live, fam. You gotta live.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But brother, thank you so much for being on the show. I definitely appreciate you, and we will definitely talk soon.
Okay. Take care, man.
Take care. Bye. What a great guy. I'm so happy that he was able to come on the show. Derek Blanks is absolutely incredible, and he's inspiring. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Sometimes people get caught up in dumb stuff that really has nothing to do with the price of tea in China. And here's what I mean. There's always somebody that's going to try it. You have to kind of get used to that in business. Somebody's going to try and play you. Somebody's going to disrespect your dollar. So you have to be willing to check people. And that's something a lot of people don't want to do because they're so worried about losing a customer or bad press or, getting somebody to say something. And then with this social media thumb thug, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, hang with Periscope world we live in, we're desperately afraid to rock the boat. And I'll be damned. I'm going to tell you that right now. I will be damned. I'll give you an example, right? Because sometimes things that happen in your life, you can actually use, for positive. And so, the other day I went to see Deadpool with my oldest daughter, Dory. And, we rarely get to spend a lot of time. She's growing up. She's got a job. So when we get those moments, I cherish them. Because it's hard, with what I've got going on, what she's got going on, the baby, there's a lot. So when we get those moments where it's just me and her, daddy-daughter day, I don't like those things to be interrupted by negativity and bullshit. And sometimes that's what happens. So we go to the movie theater, right? And we get there and we have a tradition. We, get like a medium bag of popcorn, a couple of drinks, and a couple orders of mozzarella sticks, one for her, one for me. And so I got the popcorn and the drinks, no problem. They said it'd be about a 10-minute wait on mozzarella sticks. Now, this is Deadpool, and I don't know if you know this or not, but Deadpool broke a whole lot of records this past weekend, or in its opening weekend, I should say. And what wound up happening was there was just a ton of people in there, like 3 kids behind the counter. And so what was crazy about it was they kept telling everybody 10 minutes. It was people waiting for buffalo wings or chicken tenders or mozzarella sticks, and 10 minutes turned into 20 and 20 turned into 30. And I started getting pissed. So immediately I started pulling out my camera. I'm watching these adults in the back who are supposed to be quote unquote management, and they're not really doing what's necessary to take control of the situation. You got more people filing in and getting more angry. It was like a bad, there's a game that my wife plays, it's called Diner Dash or something like that. And, once people come in, they don't get their service, they get angry, they get pissed, and they leave, and that's real life. And that's what wound up happening. That, a lot of people just got angry and pissed. I whipped out my camera and was just documenting the movie theater employees being cussed out by other angry customers. And then, I was a little hot too. And you can see the tape right now. BusinessBullyShow.com. I'm going to have that up there for you. But yeah, man. Ironically, today, after spending so much time putting this stuff up on social media, I put it on my Hang With, I put it on my YouTube. I blasted them on Facebook and Twitter, the parent company of this particular movie theater chain. And they wound up following me on Twitter, and then I got a call from the manager, and I laid him out. And I told him what it was, and I told him that it was ridiculous to put that kind of pressure on 3 kids when there's a mob of people coming, and that the adults stayed in the back, and nobody had sense enough to drop enough mozzarella sticks, buffalo wings, and chicken fingers so that people can eat and enjoy themselves in a movie theater. Come on, stop it. It just doesn't make any sense. So what he did was he gave me free tickets, for my next movie, and he also gave me some cash for the next time I have concessions. So, you can't be afraid to sit up there and tell somebody, hey, this isn't right. And then you also have to be afraid you shouldn't be afraid to stand up for your business. You shouldn't be afraid to say, hey, look, this is my establishment. This is how I like to run things. And if that means that sometimes you got to get rid of an unruly customer, you got to do that. Sometimes if that means you got to get rid of an underperforming or non-functioning employee, you got to do that too. So I just wanted to share that with you because sometimes we get overwhelmed, we get stressed, we don't think that we have any power, but we do. We're in a position on both the consumer side and as the service provider side to really make sure that quality is job one across the board. So do that. And if you're not able to help people out the way that they're expecting to be helped, do something to make it right. That's extremely important. I don't care if you're a big corporation, but especially if you're mom and pop, because people like to piss on mom and pops because they don't feel like you guys can get anything together. But they will continue to go to Walmart, for example, that'll have 37 registers and only 2 of them open. We got to stop that. That's just corny to me. Anyway and anyhow, I'm going to take another little quick break, and then I want to be right back with our second interview. So I'm really excited, man. You stay tuned. This is the Business Bully Podcast. Hey, what's up? Don't forget, man, it's the Pitch, Close, Upsell, Repeat tour. I am out all over the country promoting this book, giving people a whole lot of information. It's always a good time. My next stop on the tour is in Brooklyn. I'm going to be at the Tea Room Cafe, and that's in Brooklyn. Is Brooklyn in the house? Tea Room Cafe, 452 Pine Street, Brooklyn, New York. You want to make sure you get there. Saturday, February 20th, I'm going to be in the building. I'll be signing copies of the book, just busting it up, getting me some really cool desserts, hanging out with Tiana Smalls, who will also be there. She's the owner of the Tea Room. If you're not familiar with Tiana, she was on the show What Chili Wants. She's got a show on YouTube called Mouthful of Fur. She's going to be a guest on the podcast. I'm doing 2 podcasts this week, so you definitely want to make sure you tune in for that. But definitely join me 5 to 8. February 20th, Brooklyn, New York, the Tea Room. It's at 452 Pine Street, Brooklyn, New York. You do not want to miss it. If you want to have your next event there, check out the Tea Room, BK.com. That's thetearoombk.com, or call them directly at 718-484-0758. Tell them Dave Anderson sent you. And now let's get back and wrap up this show, baby. It's bully time.
It's time for another Business Bully interview.
Welcome back to the Business Bully Podcast. At this point in the show, I want to introduce to you one of my dearest friends. She is a beast with this word situation. She is the word boss, B-A-W-S-E, boss, like Rick Ross, boss. She does things with the English language that, defy comprehension. And I'm not saying that because she's my friend. I'm saying it because it's the truth. And if you knew how much she charged for them damn words, you'd understand why I'm saying this. It's hard enough to have a product or a service. It is another thing entirely to know how to promote it. Now, I can sell. I guarantee, I don't care who you can put Ron Popeil and Mark Cuban in the same room with me and I'll outsell them both. But I cannot outright this woman. And I've sold a shit ton of books. But when I tell you, this lady knows how to sell with words and make people, as she like to say, smack that buy button. I live for that, by the way. Every time she says it, I live for it. You know what I mean? When I was doing iBrain University and I decided to have a course on copywriting, I didn't do a damn thing with it. I picked up the phone, said, yo, Ape, this is what I need. She said, I got you. She gave me a worksheet. She gave me diagrams, and then she gave me arguably the world's best crash course in copywriting for someone who has never had to write copy before. So you're in for something unlike anything that you've ever heard when it comes to words, because people think words are boring. No, words are weapons. And this woman is a grade A ninja assassin with them words. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up on the Business Bully podcast right now for the one, the only April Beverly.
Oh my God, thank you so much for that amazing introduction, Dave. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, no, not a problem. I mean, I do okay with words. I just don't write as good as I speak. Oh, man. So, first of all, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. Thank you. I've been dying to get on, so thank you so much for the invite.
Absolutely. You are arguably the first guest from the quote-unquote private sector I've had. You know, not that you're going to stay in the private sector much longer, because you about to blow up.
Yes, I'm with it.
Hallelujah. Now let's talk a little bit before we even get into your book. I want to talk about, you know, how you started. You know, how did you fall in love with the written word? Like, you know, what you were doing prior to working for yourself, and what that's like, you know, being a wife and a mother. And, you know, a business owner, especially a black female business owner in this economy, in this world at this time. Talk to us. Let us know what's happening.
Okay. Well, you know, Dave, I'm going to take it all the way back for you. I literally fell in love with words at like age 4. They used to sit me in my grandmother's house right under the lamp, give me a crossword puzzle book. Granny used to use those crossword puzzles and just throw out words at me, and I would just find them. They would like time me how quickly I could find them. So that was like, I have always loved words and putting them together. I used to write short stories and greeting cards and letters at school and the whole nine. So that's where the love developed. So from there, I mean, I went off to college, started doing a journalism degree, and then so my entire career has been writing focused. I don't know how to do anything else. I don't try to do anything else. Words is what I do. So I left the corporate world in 2013 after I had my son. 2012 after I had my son. And it was just like, I was so sick of, he would get sick, I got to ask for permission to take off. I need to do something at home, I got to ask for permission to take off. And I just talked to my husband, we were like, why are you continuously asking for permission to do stuff? Just do your own thing. You already know what to do because you've been doing it for damn near 15 years. So just try it. And that's what I did.
Wow. That's crazy. You know, and it's hard. You're right. Being a parent is a hard situation because there's always like some ridiculous sitcom level emergency that can break out at the most inopportune time. You know, so to have that freedom to, you know, to be there for your kids is, you know, of the utmost importance. Now, let's talk about, you know, when the day you quit. Now, I know you said you had your husband's support. You know, what was that day like from the time that you walked in there to the time you got home and said, you know what, honey, I did it?
Woo! I remember like it was yesterday. I was so damn, I was so damn cocky when I walked in there that day. Like, I already knew it was going to be my last day, so I already put my notice in. So it was just like, you know, I'm cleaning out my office. I left about noon, went and got me a pedicure. Me and my husband went and had lunch. It was like the best day ever. I'll never forget it, quite honestly.
That's crazy. You just said, oh, you know what? It's noon. Okay, it's fuck you o'clock. Time to go. You know, so, all right. So then what happens the next day? Like, how do you say, you know what? You know, like, where did your first client come from? Where did, you know, did you build the website right away? Like, you know, not that I want you to give everybody every single inch of your blueprint, but just give me like a 30,000 foot overview of how you moved, you know?
Okay. Well, for that, let me take it back because I need to make sure that I tell you that I launched the business while I was still working full time. That's very important to say because I saved up 6 months of income before I gave my job to Deuces, because I was like, you know, we still got to live in this interim time. So I already had clients. I had long-term clients that I had started out with who were still working with me. So that's why I was able to go get a pedicure and go have lunch, because my mind was at complete ease. Because I had already created the website, had already launched the business, had already been finding clients. So it was just like that transitional phase into the full-time role, but it had already been my side hustle. So the next day after I quit, it was business as usual. I had already set up my office. I got up, I got dressed, I came into my office and immediately went to work because I had already had clients. So that was very helpful, and I want your listeners to definitely understand that being able to have that safety net allowed me that peace of mind where I wasn't all frantic, like, oh my God, what am I going to do?
That's dope. Absolutely. And at what point, how long did it take you after you quit your job for you to be like profitable? Or were you profitable to before you quit? Or was it like a ramping up?
Before I quit, it was definitely a ramping up. So 1 year to the day was when I hit six figures after leaving my job.
Oh, Jesus. I'm sorry, just just the Holy Spirit just hit me. Oh, Jesus, it just, whew. She said 1 year to the day, that's when I hit six figures. She's like, yeah, I just ramped up, and everything. And 1 year to the day to hit six figures, and then after that, we got a hot dog. Like, no, slow, no. Good God. In 1 year from the day you quit your job, you wound up hitting six figures. Nice.
Yes, I mean, I had day when I tell you I was like a planning machine, because I was like, this is my goal. I got to make this thing happen, and I got to be able to prove to people, because, all the people was like, well, why you going to leave that good paying job? Why you going to leave that high paying job? You got all them good benefits. You know how we do. And I was like, no, I got this. And I need to prove my point, so.
Now that does bring up a good point. So when it comes to benefits, like, are you doing Obamacare? Is the hubby handling it? Like,
we are on my husband's benefits, yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I ain't mad. Let me tell you something, because I'm just gonna keep it real. Obamacare sucks if you're young. It absolutely sucks donkey nuts if you're young. Oh my God. It's like, woo. Like, for somebody like you or me, bare minimum family, you're probably looking at like $620, $630 a month.
Damn, for real? I had no idea.
Yeah, because the way they run, like, if you're young or if you're like a single person, it's not as bad. But if you got a family, you got kids, and you're making a certain amount, because they do it on a sliding scale. So you and I, you can cancel Christmas. They're like, oh, six figures? Yes, we can. Right.
And we over here like, no, we can't.
Hope and change, yeah. They hope you sign up for Obamacare so they can change your tax bracket. Good God. Yeah, man. So it's definitely hectic. If you can have one person, working still, that's a beautiful thing. When you look at it right now, what's the one mistake you made that you didn't foresee?
I would say relying too much on the clients that I already had. And so what ended up happening as the years went by, I had clients who were relying on me heavily, and then they were like, well, we just don't hire somebody to come in-house. And then, that gets rid of April, or things of that nature. So just relying on that, it was more like a safety net for me, relying on those existing clients too heavily, and not making sure my marketing was on point from the start, having a pure, straight-up marketing plan and process. It was like I got those retainer clients. I'm like, we straight. And so that was the worst mistake I made starting out.
That is crazy. It's like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, you got this going. We could, we could just have somebody come in right now. They can just row the boat the rest of the way. You done built the engine or whatever. We got it. We good. Thanks, April. Damn. That's hectic.
Right. That's exactly what would happen. So.
Damn. When you do your job too well, sometimes that's a problem. Now, I want to talk a little bit about decision making. What made you decide to write your book?
That is a great question. So what made me decide to write the book was that I kept getting folks, coming to me for copywriting advice who weren't necessarily in the range where they could afford the full expense of a copywriter. And so I said, you know what? I'm just going to put everything into this book so they can get there without me far enough where they can start making some money. And when they get, further down the road, then they can hire a copywriter to finish the way. So that's why I wrote the book. Like, I really just wanted to speak into people, serve solo entrepreneurs, because I done seen some crazy stuff in writing. And I just wanted to be able to help those folks be able to find their voice and put something together that would allow them to sell their services and products without just, going off to the left. So that's why I wrote the book. I just felt like it was time to be able to have a book where folks could, one, understand what we were talking about. I'm not using a bunch of theories and methods and, all that crazy stuff. It's just real, straight talk. This is what you do. This is what you don't do. Boom, there you go. Easy to follow.
Awesome. Tell everybody the name of the book.
The name of the book is Shots Fired. How to write copy that pierces heart and opens wallet.
Damn. Sounds like a pimp book. So you got to pierce their hearts so that they open their wallets. You got to treat them like butter, baby. Shed your clothes, spread your legs. Like, I mean, it's extremely, it's extremely provocative, and that's what I love about it, and I think that a lot of people are extremely going to, benefit from it. Now, you could have, because I know you, you could have easily just said, you know what, I'll come up with a couple of more, like, you have like these email packets where, somebody can spend 50, 60, $100 and then just get like all these April Beverly style emails where they just kind of like, fill in the blanks, and they can rock and roll, Mm-hmm. You didn't really have to write the book. Like, you could have just chilled on that, but you like serving people. Like, I mean, whew. I'm just saying.
I do. Really I do, Dave. It's just, I want everybody to be able to, sell their products and services, and I want them to be able to have good words to do so. However way I can. Like, I can't give everything away for free, so the book is the next best option for me.
What are some of the biggest mistakes that people make in writing words or setting up things, even if it's something as simple as like a flyer or like an email? What are the things that kind of like as a word stylist, as a copywriting machine, as a huge expert in your field, what are the things that kind of make you cringe?
Some of the biggest mistakes, one of the biggest mistakes is not writing in your own voice. So it can be off way to the left or way to the right. Let me explain that. So one would be writing way too prim and proper and professional. Mm-hmm. Like, when you know that that's not you, right? You can put a club flyer together and you're talking like you're a lawyer. Like, those two things don't match. And then on the other side of the coin is you could be selling legal services and you're writing like you're promoting a club. So it's like you have to find that happy medium. And so I'm not gonna give all my secrets away. No. But that's like one of the worst mistakes that I've seen. Like, not zeroing in on that voice and that tone, and that's what makes me cringe, because I know that these folks, if they would just be a little more natural with it, it would just flow. It would just flow, and they wouldn't have to think about it so much.
Wow, that's a good point. Let's talk a little bit about your personal life. When it comes down to it, I know your husband's extremely supportive. When it comes to your children, like, what do you tell them? Do you tell them like they should be entrepreneurs? Do you tell them to get a job? Like, what is your whole, parenting style when it comes to business and your kids?
My son is 4 now, and so we focus on speaking confidence into him. So literally every day I'll say, Austin is awesome, Austin is amazing, Austin is intelligent. I speak those things into him, and then me or my husband, we do not allow him to say the word can't. That is not in our vocabulary around here. You do not say can't. I may not know how right now, and that's fine. It's okay to ask for help. But other than that, we don't say can't around here. So I like to speak into him that he can do whatever he wants to. And that's what he says now. I can do anything. Mm-hmm. And so if he wants to be the president, if he wants to be a basketball player, if he wants to be an entrepreneur, a dentist, whatever, he knows that he has the power to do that. And he knows that mommy is an entrepreneur. He knows that daddy works very hard at his job at the bank. And he sees both sides of the coin, and he's just, that's our world right now. So I think it's very inspiring to him to be able to see that. Like, he doesn't know exactly what mommy does. He just says mommy works with computers. So.
That's dope. I think that's extremely important. The word can't, shouldn't exist in any child's vocabulary. And I was, in my posts, I post daily, at least 2-3 times a day, because apparently I have nothing to do but write. I was talking about how somebody had the nerve to tell me that I was a jack of all trades. And I'm like, no, I'm a Renaissance man. Just because you are a one-trick pony doesn't mean that I have to be, and it's important, But people understand that just because you have an opinion, that doesn't have to be your reality. Like, you can pretty much do anything. Now, I did have to come to grips with the fact that I will never be a Speedo model. Like, I just feel like, that ship has sailed. I just, just because I'm older, like, I mean, my body is everything, but I'm just saying, like, being a Speedo model is it's just not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just, because they bunch up and no, but seriously, like, I mean, I know my limits, but I really think that, I don't think kids should have them, because the second you start with that can't, then they think that they can't everything, and then they're out.
Absolutely.
So it's important. And I'm not going to let you just gloss over the fact that you just kind of threw that in. You do this whole thing where you just kind of like ninja star throw stuff at people and think that they ain't catch it. Yeah, when mommy works at home, daddy works at the bank. Nah, skirt. Daddy's at the bank, y'all. That's all I'm saying. He's at the bank. And I don't think he's the security guard.
Oh, yeah, no.
No.
Daddy is a VP in cybersecurity, all that technical stuff that mommy knows nothing about.
And Austin thinks you work with computers. He over here doing cybersecurity. He's at the bank. Right. Now, I do want to dive into the book just a little bit further. One thing that you say that people are going to get from this book is, how to write like a boss and simple tips at work, even if you hate writing, and horrified your English teacher. I'll tell you all the time, and you know this for a fact, I'm a best-selling author. I'm not a best-writing author. My syntax is horrible, and yeah, I majored in English, but who cares? I can sell a book. Like, do you honestly think that you can take somebody who sucks at writing, not even mediocre like me, but sucks, and teach them the things by picking up this book that are going to allow them to get people, as you would say, to smack that buy button to purchase?
Absolutely, and let me tell you why, Dave. Because the real secret of great copy, everybody already has it. You just don't know how to use it. You already have the tools to write great copy. A lot of folks just don't know how to apply those tools.
Dope. I'm not mad at that. I'm really curious, and I know that's a thing that you're keeping in the book, but I would love to know what the hell Indecent Proposal has to do with writing. Because when I think Indecent Proposal, I think, as Sharon Stone, and she had a dress on, and she ain't had no panties on the dance floor. Like, I don't see. But okay, all right. I'm just gonna skip past that. Okay.
No, seriously, it is a great story to Indecent Proposal, and maybe that's just the way my mind works. But when I watch it, I'm like, that's it. Gotta go in the book, because it's a great story about, and I'm not gonna tell you.
No.
But it's a great story too about copywriting.
I'm with you. Your exact step. You put your exact step-by-step process for writing $1 million sales copy in here. Fool.
Yes, I did.
Why?
Yeah. Because here's the thing, Dave. I really, like I said, I really want to serve people. I want you to have everything you need to be able to write great copy from this book. Because I know you can do it. Like, and I'm not trying to put myself out of business, because I'm going to always have clients. I'm not competing with myself, but I want you to be able to do it until you can get to a point where you can be like, hey, I need to hire a copywriter now, because I'm making so much money, I don't even have time to do it by myself anymore.
No. I'm not mad, but I think we're about to fight. Because let me find out. Because, see, this is the problem with not reading the prep sheet before you do the interview. You go further down the prep sheet, and you see some things that kind of make you go, oh, wait, hold on. I know you didn't anime. It says, I'll dig in my iPhone contacts, my Facebook buddy list, and emails, and give you the names of my favorite client service providers and tools, and tell you how to get a hold of them. Oh, wait, hold up. You just going to let everybody just come on in. Hit them up. Why not? Just what we doing now. Okay.
I have a little something. Actually, I named it a little something in the back of the book that I think folks are really going to enjoy. I'll give you a secret that one of my quote unquote famous sayings is, it takes a village to raise a biz baby. And so I give you guys a sneak peek inside my village.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right, I'm gonna let you be great. I'm not even going. Anybody gonna trip? Because I'm just not gonna answer my phone. No, I'm playing. So the book is actually coming out on the 24th? 5th.
25th. Yep.
All right, that's what's up. 25th. Any particular reason why you chose the 25th to drop this book?
Well, the real reason is because it was after Valentine's Day, after my husband's birthday. I didn't want anything interfering with what we got going on from a family perspective. So I was like, there you go, February 25th. That was it.
I'm not mad at that. You know, I can't even, begin to tell you how much I appreciate that, because I'm the same way. Like, when even doing my tour, March 19th is, my youngest baby's birthday. It's her first birthday. I ain't going nowhere, but the following week I'm in Detroit. You know what I mean? And like this weekend I'm in New York. So, you gotta make sure you make time around your family, because we can get so caught up in, hey, let's go, that we don't ever really get any perspective. So it's important that you keep your family first. So I'm not mad at that. All right, April, I'm not gonna hold your ears hostage. Let everybody know where they can find you, how they can get a hold of you, social media, websites, emails, all that good stuff.
All right, thank you so much, Dave. I am on Facebook, Twitter, Periscope, Instagram, everywhere at BAAB Writing. You can find me on the web at www.baab.biz. And don't forget to visit me on Amazon.com when the book comes out February 25th. Shots Fired, How to Write Copy That Pierces Hearts and Opens Wallets.
That's what it is, ladies and gentlemen. I told you it was going to be crazy. April Beverly, you got to go get this book. It is definitely worth it. You spent more on a sandwich and like a drink or two. I'm just saying it's definitely worth it, especially when somebody charges like, well, all right. So I'm not going to say an arm and a leg, but I'm at least say like 5 toes and like a pinky, for these words, and you won't get that work. I'm here to tell you, man. You're talking about somebody who, she's got an MBA. I mean, she's a college graduate. She's got, a degree in journalism. Like she's a beast, man. You know what I mean? And I'm happy to call her friend, and I'm happy that you took the time out, April, to do the show. It means a lot to have you on the show, and much success to you. I want to make sure that once the book is out, that I put a link up on businessbullyshow.com. Yeah, new website coming, son. And, it's going to be a good time, man. So I'm super excited for you. So congratulations on your first bestseller. Yes, indeed. Claim that in Jesus' name right there. Yes, Jesus.
Thank you, sir. I'm claiming it. I appreciate it. So much love to you. So much love to you, friend. I really appreciate you.
Hey, and I appreciate you right back. My thanks to both of my guests, Derek Blanks and April Beverly, for taking their time right here on the Business Bully Podcast. Listen, I'm extremely tired, but I'm fired up, and I want you to be fired up too, man. Things are going to happen. People are going to come and go. People are going to try and sideline you, act crazy, talk to you crazy. But I'm here to tell you, man, if you persevere and you work at it and you get down and you grind and you improve and you take constructive criticism, you leave negative criticism alone, you focus, you don't get caught up on thumb thugs and butthurt people and people who caught the vapors, you can do amazing things with your life. And that's what I'm here for. If you ever need anything, go right now to businessbullyshow.com. You can hit the contact button and get at me. You can also send emails, whatever it takes, man. I'm always here. And I thank you so much for supporting the show. This is one of the fastest growing business podcasts online right now. So please share this, subscribe. You never know who's going to pop up on the show. If you have somebody that you'd like me to interview, make sure you let me know that too. So go to businessbullyshow.com and let's build something great together. Until next time, man, you take it easy, and I'll talk to you then. Don't forget, I'm coming to Brooklyn on Saturday, February 20th. I hate dating the shows, but I got to let you know, because all of my Brooklyn people, do you realize like 20% of my audience is in Brooklyn? Y'all better come out and come see the kid. That's all I'm saying to you. So I look forward to seeing you then, and we'll talk. Take care.
Follow us on Twitter at MyInnerBrand. Thanks for listening to the Business Bully Podcast. We'll talk to you next time.